What's up, guys? This is Lanebot. First and foremost, I want to apologize for being so slack with the Lanebot monthly videos. I guess it should be Lanebot not so monthly. Anyway, I wanted to make it up to you guys and share with you a Ableton 9 template that I've been working on for a little bit, and this was a way for me to merge some of the things that I've been doing before with some success and some things that I'm working on and experimenting with now. So let's get right into it. It looks pretty simple. Ignore this channel right here. Let's actually just go ahead and rename that. Ignore me. This is just the audio track of me talking to you right now through the microphone so that the audio doesn't sound like absolute rubbish when it gets to you. It looks pretty simple. It's just 3 channels, and then we have 2 send and returns here. It's actually a lot more to it. Let's open it up. So we got the DJ decks. This is the way I traditionally use my Ableton rig, and it's just 4 decks, A, B, C, and D. And if you see, each one of them is split up to A and B, and they each have their own individual DJ effects track that I created, and I'll go into that in a sec. Let's look at the volumes real quick. This is set at 0, and all of these, the decks are A through D, are set at -16. This is done on purpose so that when you go and you play out at a show, you can become automatic best friends with the sound guy, because you're going to be the guy who never clips and who has this always like lush, crisp sound, because you're not pushing anything into the red. And you're like, well, it's -16, that's not going to be loud. And that's what the master channel's for, because you have 2 specially crafted mastering suites that I've put together using only stuff found within basic Ableton. And yeah, ignore that tweet. So this whole template is going to be using stuff that's only within Ableton, no third-party VSTs or anything, nothing for you to go out and buy. This is 100% free, and you can share it and do what you want with it and modify it. So let's show you how you use the DJ decks, because I know some people just get the templates and then they have no idea how to actually use them. Let's just go into my folders here. This is a mini mix I did for some radio stations, Camp Radio pretty much, and a couple other stations. Let's just load some tracks in here. Perfect. We got Of Porcelain, which is Ua's side project. If you don't know about that, you should definitely check it out. Just gonna load in. You see I have like the main track up top, and then I have a couple different loops and stuff. It's a pretty effective way I found of DJing to make some unique tracks. So the same thing, let's just drag this Miguel track up in here. So you just open up your projects here where you have your pre-warped tracks and all that stuff, and then you just drag them into the decks, and you're good to go. I'm just going to use the Launchpad here just to cue the clips and give you an example of how it sounds. Okay, so now we got the songs loaded, and all I did was move part 1 through 4 down just so it's a little easier for me to launch stuff. I'm just going to use the Launchpad only to launch the clips. I'm going to be turning the knobs and faders and all that stuff with the mouse trackpad, so I'm not going to be using any controllers for anything, so you don't have to worry about wondering about MIDI mappings or anything like that. This is completely up to you. Just going to go ahead and click the intro 1 of this song. You can hear it's pretty empty, which is cool, and I'll show you how some of the effects work. Nice sharp filter. Nice little fade. Got the gate going. I love that for builds. Then we got the beat mesh. Also, I use it a lot in builds. This is a little laser phaser. Makes this little phased out laser sounds, and it does it tastefully so it doesn't take over your sound too much. You got that bit crush. And we got the flange. Alright, so how do you DJ or make tunes off of this? Whatever, it's kind of the same way that you would do in the performance deck, kind of. Like I'll show you right here. We'll just trigger these two again. The two intros. All right, and you can do a number of things. That was just actually a pretty maybe overly drawn out example of what you can do within the DJ deck. So just imagine that across 4 decks and an infinite, pretty much 127 sample spaces times 4. I'm not in class right now, so you do the math. And now we're gonna open up the performance section. This watermark is just it's just got a little echo here, and it's pretty much just for you to add like your name tag. So or you can drop your name into your mixes and all that stuff with ease. The other thing, I'm not sure if I really mentioned it, we have A and B here, and this is simply for the crossfader purposes. So let's go. All right, so there you go. It's a pretty cool way to DJ still traditionally. Or somewhat traditionally using your crossfader to blend tracks. So you have, good God, I'm getting a lot of messages and stuff, huh? All right, so you have, decks A and B on side A and B and C and D and all that stuff. So it's pretty good. So you have 127 times 2 on each side. It's a lot of loops and stuff that you can add. The performance is very similar in the sense where I just have individual tracks, and I have 8 tracks, I think, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, 8 tracks altogether, times the possibility of 127 clips down each row. I have them named because this is just the way that I've laid out my performances. But you can name them, duplicate them, take extras off if you don't need them. Do whatever you need to do. This is just a template. You can modify it from there. If you notice, there's no effects rack under each one because 8 instances of that rack would drain the CPU. Right now it's only at 2-3%, which is amazing. So how did I do that? It's pretty simple. All I did was, normally the way the track works, it sends the audio from this track, it sends it to the group, and then from the group it goes to the master. What I have it set to sends only, it's sending the audio that would play in this track, and it's actually playing it in the send, what I've notated here by turning the knob of either A or B up or down. So it's actually bypassing the group and going into the sends, and it's playing it that way. So anything that I play, like for instance, if I play something in here, the effects are actually going to be in the... Wow, sorry about all these tweets, guys. This is what I live with. So if I play anything in the drums here and in this section, it's not going to go to the group. It's going to go into this as far as the audio goes, and I can affect it on this level. Wow, it's been a ton of interruptions and stuff. Anyway, so we're back. I'm going to show you exactly how you can use the performance sections to maximize your abilities and to really take advantage of Ableton's flexibility and all that. So let's go ahead and open up the basic clips that come with Ableton. Yeah, why not? Let's drop some congas in here. And some dubstep claps, and let's see what happens. We're just gonna do something with these two. Let's cue up the congas. It's a bit loud, so we're gonna lower it. Now, there's no effects in that channel or in the group. It's going out to Sends B, as you can see from here. So I'm just gonna click on Sends B, and here it is. All right, so we got a cool little percussion effect going on. We can maybe even flames that a bit. Now let's bring in the drums. Now, if you want, you can actually even mix this in with your DJ decks and do this like. And that was a very quick example of how you can use the performance decks and the DJ decks, and you can make entirely new songs out of clips of either other songs or your own songs, and make your own loops and just perform and make tracks on the fly. So it's pretty awesome. I just have it labeled, like I said, the way that I would normally do it is drums, percussion, some bass lines, a couple synth lines, and some atmospheric sounds, and then your standard effects clips. And then on the side I have like the watermark for the name tag of like who you're listening to and all that stuff. So DJ decks, each deck has its own effects rack, and they're separated to A and B, the A and B side of the crossfader, so you can crossfade in between the tracks if you really need it. Performance decks, each one is going to the sends only, and they're split up into send A and B. Both sends have the exact same rack that you would get from the DJ decks. Now, all of this is made from stuff that comes in Ableton already, so there's nothing extra for you to buy. All the audio tracks are actually set to -16, as you can see here. So when you're mapping the faders, if you map any of the faders to your MIDI, remember to set the max to -16. That way you never have any problems with something just jumping out when it's not supposed to, and suddenly peaking and or like breaking, your speakers or the club system, which would really suck. So yeah, don't worry about how low the volume is, because that just gives you a lot of headroom when it comes into here, into the mastering suites. This is set at 0. The peak, I believe, is at 0.3. So you still got some, leeway. And I think it's a pretty good setup. Like I said, I'm just putting this out for free so that you guys can use, because I believe the more I share about my musical journey and the stuff that I learn to make better tunes, the more people will also start making better tunes. And then it's just like an awesome circle of caring and knowledge. And I think that's what music should be. It should definitely be a way to move and inspire others and to help us move forward. Well, guys, that's pretty much it for me. So I hope you enjoy the template, make good use of it, share it, tell other people. If you have any other questions about how to use it or layout or anything like that, just hit me up on Twitter. It's @LaneBotMusic, and that'll do it. So peace.